So, context. First of all, the admissions. I'm a Man United fan. I don't really rate this Man United team that much, but nonetheless, I'm a Man United fan. And I watched the highlights of this game, and Fulham played pretty well. I've seen the replay several times, and I've seen the meltdown that occurred. And I have a view that doesn't seem to be one that people are expressing here. So, first of all, I don't think Willian could do much about this hitting his hand. I don't think it was deliberate. I even think he kind of tried to pull it into the body to get it out of the way and was just unfortunate in this thing. And I just have a view about natural justice in any form. But in the game, I've umpired a fair amount in hockey as well, and I have the same view about hockey. Yes, this is a handball that stops a goal. So, within that bounds, you give a penalty. Where I've got a problem is that you compound that by saying, no, a penalty's not enough, we're going to send the guy off. But to me, for you to send someone off, it can't just be a line in a rule book. There has to be an interpretation around it, comprehension of the natural justice. If this guy had stuck his arm out like a goalkeeper and stopped the goal, then I'd have no problem with a red card. But this is just someone applying a line in a rule book and completely getting interpretation wrong here. Why are you sending the guy off? I don't think it was deliberate. I don't even think he could do much about it. So my view is you give the penalty and there's no need for the red card. Now, as a Man United fan, you maybe sit here and say, oh yeah, take the red card, that's what we want, then we go on and win. But this just leads to a meltdown where their manager gets sent off, their players get involved in a bunch of things that is unfortunate from an injustice. Like, it's an injustice that you get penalised, not just double, but like in treble form. And they go on and they lose the game. And I don't know for them how their season will pan out. Maybe they'll come together and they just say the world's against us, and then they keep on playing well and doing that. But even with VAR, like, VAR seems to just underline, oh, it's a line in the rule book. And it seems to damage the common sense of decision making. There's no way this guy should have been sent off for this. I don't think it was deliberate, and I don't think he could have really got out of the way. In watching it over and over, it looks to me like he's trying to pull his hand out the way, and I actually think that if he'd got his arm out of the way, it would have hit him in the body. It might not have gone in. It might have hit him in the chest or whatever. I just went over and over and over it, and I just can't really say how they came to the conclusions that they did. Now, once the guy pushes the ref, then you're into a whole bunch of things where you can't push the ref and all of that. But it's the points leading up to that injustice that have inflamed the players. And really, it's hard to even get your head round. I'm watching today as Dermot Gallagher is blabbing about these things. And half of what he says, he won't actually say what he thinks, which is part of the problem. The referees are told by their adjudicators and the guys who review what they do to, almost throw away common sense. And the whole unfortunate thing is we don't want people walking up to the referees in the confrontation all the way down to grassroots. But equally, I actually think the destruction of common sense leads directly to the things you want to avoid. Like, honest to God, this would have been better handled by the referee actually taking the heat after the game with the adjudicator and not red carding the guy for that handball. It was struck at him. I don't think he could have got out of the way. I don't think it was deliberate. And I think all of the things that happen after that are due to people just freaking out through what they deem as an injustice. And I think it is an injustice. And I think football's got to get its act together. And I think they really need to bring a level of common sense back into refereeing and move away from this robotic, that's what the line says in the rule book. Just needs rethinking. And as much as I'm glad we won, I kind of feel a bit sorry for Fulham because they're going to get they're going to get rap knuckles all over the place. And the referee's going to get told how wonderful a job he did because he followed a line in a rule book to the letter and handed out confetti. It's not where we want it to be. Anyway, I'll shut up.